Hello, dear students. I hope all of you are doing well. So, in our previous session, we discussed the answers of lesson number 2. Everything is given. I hope all of you have got those videos and you have written those answers in your notebooks and you learned them properly. So, today we will start with a new lesson. Before we start, I would like to ask you certain questions. You can see in front of you there is one picture is given. I think you are able to recognize this picture. What is this picture? This picture is globe. It's a picture of globe, and you can see this is the model of our earth. Is not so? So here you see our earth is mainly consist of two things, the land part and the water part. You see this land area where we generally make our residential places, and towns, cities, everything, countries, continent, everything is found on the land. And there is another place, that is, these are the blue patched area. What are the blue patched area? All the blue area that you can see, all these are what? They are all this water bodies, or the water area. So land and water are the two important division of your earth. So about 71% of the earth is occupied by the water bodies, and they are named differently. So starting from the smaller to larger, if you go on naming, you can start it from your spring. Spring means the smaller place from where the water comes out. Okay, so starting from spring, then it will become rivulet, then rivers, and later on it will go, bigger one is lake, next is your sea, next is your ocean. Like that way, all the places wherever the water is found, they are all called the water bodies. Okay, you can see in a map also. Here you can see the picture of a world map. So this beside the continent or land area, this land area, what you can see, rest most of the part is colored with blue color. Is not so? Most of the part is colored with blue color. So all this blue colored patch is marked for this water bodies. So you can see they are all oceans and seas in the world. So it occupies maximum area of our earth. Is not so? Okay. So today we will discuss your chapter 3, lesson number 3. Topic is water bodies. Okay, water bodies. So what are the different water bodies found in the world, and how we can recognize them, all these things, and what are the different type of sea and oceans are found, and all that one we will try to discuss one after another. Don't worry, you should know that these are the learning targets. Look at here, and overally we can study all the things that are given in the book. Okay, so please try to open your book along with me and try to know what are these water bodies that are found. Okay, so get ready with your book and see there. Let us read together. Okay, so here see, hydro is a Greek word which means water. Please keep in your memory this word hydro. So this hydro means what? It's a word. Its meaning is water. It's a Greek word. Greek is name of a country where people speak in different language. That is not their English language. That is Greek language only. Okay. So you see, this Greece is name of the country where the Greek language is spoken. So they were the very wise people from the beginning. So that's why most of the earthly things, most of these things on the earth are named after this Greek words. Okay, so Latin and Greek were the important language in our early days, and this people, those who were wise people and this learned people, they were learning this Greek and Latin words and languages, and they were using that language to write down the this knowledge books, etc. Okay, so that's why most of the geographical things or geographical names comes from the Greek language. Okay, so however, now let us try to see. You might have heard about the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere refers to the water present on planet Earth. So all the places wherever the water is found, altogether they are named as the hydrosphere or the water sphere, okay, or water region. Sphere means nothing but region. So the region which is occupied by water is called the hydrosphere, or the area which is occupied by the water is called hydrosphere. I think all of your understanding is not a new thing for you. You can easily know about all this one. Okay, now let us see. Water is found in rivers, lakes, streams, and oceans. So you know that water is found in all the places where they are found. You can see rivers, you can see lakes, also you can find streams. Streams means what? That are smaller rivers. Very small rivers are called streams, and oceans. All these are given. Beside that one, if you dig underground, you can find the water also there. In that your well, borewell, etc., also you can find the water. So they are also part of the hydrosphere. Okay, so water is stored underground as groundwater. Some water is trapped in ice, so the ice is also part of your hydrosphere. Water can even be found in the atmosphere. In the air also you can find the water. Atmosphere means what? That is your air, okay, in the form of water vapor. Therefore earth therefore the earth's hydrosphere includes the ocean along with clouds, inland seas, lakes, rivers, and underground water. As I told you, all these things are given here. Earth's hydrosphere will be including all the things: ocean, clouds, inland seas, and rivers. What is this inland sea? That we will know. The sea inside the earth, inside the land area are called the inland sea. Okay, and even the underground water together, all they are called the, they are all part of this hydrosphere. They are all called the hydrosphere or water region, the area occupied by water. Okay, now let's read further. A water body may be defined as the significant accumulation of water at a particular place. So water body means what? That is this collection of water in a greater way. Okay, if you keep a little water in your glass and you say it is water body, if you are container, in your small container drinking glass, so if you put some of the water there in your container, your tumbler, glass tumbler, okay, if you put that one and say this is water body, it is not, it cannot be called as water body. That is funny, is not so? So actually what is water body? This water body is where the place where definite quantity, large quantity of water is collected there. Okay, in the stream it seems to be smaller, but it goes on flowing for a longer period of time. The quantity of water stored there is unlimited. So similarly in the river it looks smaller, but still then if the river flows throughout the long period of time, so the quantity of water found there is also unlimited. So they are all significant accumulation of water. Significant means great. Okay, great great accumulation of water in a particular place. So all they are called the water body. So please try to keep in your memory. And you know about the sea and ocean, there is enormous quantity of water found there in the sea and ocean. So that are obviously called as the water body. But other places like your small streams, rivers, rivulets, everything, there also water flows continuously for a longer period of time. So it indicates there is enormous quantity of water stored inside. So that's why they are also part of the hydrosphere or water bodies. Okay, so keep in your memory. Next, these water bodies are categorized according to their size and depth as ocean, seas, lakes, ponds, and streams. Ocean, okay, so you can see according to the quantity of water found there, they are categorized, they are divided into, they are separated from each other according to their size and depth. how big is it, how deep it is. Looking at that one, it is divided into different. All of you know ocean, they are the very big size, and seas are little bit smaller than the ocean, and lakes are little bit smaller than the sea. And you know about the pond and lakes. Okay, pond and lakes, they are also smaller. Okay, ponds are smaller, and later on you can see the rivers, etc. Okay, now let us see ocean being the largest water body and streams being the smallest one. So please try to keep in your memory which is the largest water body, ocean obviously, and which is the smallest one, that is smallest water body is stream. Okay, streams are the smallest water body. Puddles and swimming pools are not considered to be water bodies and is a term used in geographical sense. Okay, so you should keep in your memory your puddle. Puddle means you know that so during the rainy season, some of the lowland area, some of the ditch area, depressed area will be collected with some of the water. They are called the puddle. Okay, so they are not considered to be this water body. Why? Because the quantity of water is very limited there, and also similarly your pool, swimming pool, etc., they are not considered to be the water body, because they are temporary and they are man-made one. And your similarly you can see in your bathroom, if the water is coming through your tap and it is found in your this bathtub, etc., they are not considered to be this water bodies in geographical sense. Okay, so in geographical study sense, you should not include that bathroom water or your this kitchen water or the tub of water in the tub of your bathtub. Okay, there they are not considered to be the part of water body, but whatever natural sources of water are found, they are all part of this water bodies. I think all of you got it. Got? Okay, now let's read the other part. You see there are oceans. We will study about the ocean. Okay, so how many oceans are there? Do you know? I think all of you know about this one. There are 5 oceans, okay, and 7 continents. Is not so? Okay, so you see the 5 oceans are given here, and please try to memorize the names of the 5 oceans. That is important for you, and try to memorize the name of the continents too simultaneously. However, now we are dealing with the water bodies, so it is important for you to memorize the name of this oceans. So you see, oceans cover 74% of the earth's surface and contains 97% of the earth's water. So try to understand this one carefully. 74% of our earth's surface. So total surface of the earth is divided into 100, and out of that 100, 74 part is occupied by this water. Okay, if you see that as I showed you this globe and map, that most of the part is marked with blue. If you see the globe from a distance, it will look a blue circle or blue spherical thing, blue sphere like that. If you see the map from a distance, then you will, first of all, what color will catch your eye? The blue color will catch your eye. All that blue is the major color that is applied in the maps and the globes. So all that blue color is the symbol of your water. So you see, more than 2 part out of the 3 part of our earth is occupied by the water. That is what you please try to keep in your memory. And the most important water body is your ocean, and ocean contains about 97% of water. Almost all water of the earth is found in the ocean, 97%, and only 3% of water that are found here and there under the ground, in the ice, and also some of the your rivers and stream, etc. Only 3% of water is found there. Okay, so but most of the water is found in the oceans. All the oceans are there. How many oceans are there? It is given here 5 oceans. on the earth. Namely, what they are? Pacific Ocean, all of you know. Next is your Atlantic Ocean. Next is your Indian Ocean. They are all given according to their size. And the next is your Arctic Ocean. Next is your Southern Ocean or the Antarctic Ocean. It was known as the Antarctic Ocean. Southern Ocean was known as the Antarctic Ocean in the earlier time. Now it is known as the Southern Ocean. So both are same. Arctic is the Northern Ocean and the Antarctic is the Southern Ocean. Okay. However, we will study about each of them in detail in the subsequent pages. So let us try to see there. Let's read. There are two major characteristics of the ocean. One significant characteristic of the ocean being that all the 5 oceans of the world are connected to one another. That is very important. Please try to keep in your memory. All the oceans are connected to one another. It may not be, you may be thinking that the oceans are separated from each other. No, if you observe the map properly, you will see they are interconnected. They are all joined to one another. So that is what they are connected to one another. That is an important characteristic, one of the important, significant characteristic. That is one of the way you can recognize this ocean. They are connected. The significant characteristic of the ocean is this presence of salty water. Another important characteristic is that they have this salty water. I think all of you might have tested the water in the sea and ocean. Okay, how will they test? They test salty. Okay, so the salty water and their interconnectivity is the important characteristic of the ocean. Okay, in the beginning of primeval sea were probably the only slightly salt, but over time, as rain fell to the earth, ran over the land, breaking up the rocks and transporting their minerals to the ocean, ocean water has become saltier. So what does it mean? You see, primeval seas means at the beginning, when the initial stage of the sea, when the sea were created at the beginning, perhaps the salinity of the sea, the salt content of the sea was limited. But as year after year passed, billions and billions of years have passed since the earth is created, and that's why rain has fallen on the ground and it has broken the rocks. Rocks and washed away the mineral contents there. All the mineral contents have got stored into that ocean water, and now it has become more salty or saltier. Okay, you can see that water has become saltier. So now this water of the sea and ocean has become more salty. Okay, more salty means saltier. Got it? Now let us see. Rain replenishes the fresh water in rivers and streams, so they do not has salty. Okay, they do not taste salty. However, the water in the ocean collect of the salt and minerals from all of the river flow into it. Throughout the world, rivers can estimated 4 billion tons of dissolved salt to the ocean annually. So you can see it is a really surprising thing. All the rivers of the world, they are depositing about 4 billion tons of salt annually. Every year that much salt is being dissolved in the ocean water. So ocean water is getting saltier and saltier year after year. Okay, so the two main characteristic of the ocean water is that ocean is that they are interconnected. All the oceans are connected with one another, and the water is salty. Okay, and they are more salty as the time has passed. Got it? Okay, now let us see the other one. Let us study about the okay, anyway, I think today it's already too long. So in the next session we will try to study about each and every ocean, and you can just see here the oceans are marked with the blue color here. You see, this is Pacific Ocean, this is also part of the Pacific Ocean. So they are interconnected. This Atlantic Ocean is there, Indian Ocean is there, and similarly the Arctic Ocean is found here, Antarctic Ocean or the Southern Ocean is in this side. So you see, oceans of the world is given here. We will study about all this one after another in the next session. So far, all of you please try to read whatever that are explained today to you, and try to learn something in advance too, so that you can understand the lesson properly. Thank you very much for listening.